So Giglio, who's one of the major critics of Michelangelo's Last Judgment, of which we have a print over there, he criticises it for all sorts of things, its lack of spiritual truth and so on, but he also argues that it needed to show more violence, that Michelangelo doesn't show the saints, he shows them with their attributes of their martyrdom, but he doesn't show them suffering and tortured and wounded. And for Giglio, he thought the violence was really important to make the viewer empathise and feel the suffering of that saint. So here we have Saint Bartholomew, who is basically martyred by being flayed alive, and Giglio says of Christ in the Last Judgment that he should be covered in wounds and blood and spittle of all the people who spat at him. You know, this really visceral idea of violence and blood and guts. And what is interesting about this painting is that Manfredi is treading this fine line here between Michelangelo's no wounds and then some of the horror pictures by artists such as Ribera in Naples that really showed saints, you know, screaming out in agony. So Manfredi here shows the saint looking up to heaven, knowing that he's looking up for guidance and for spiritual belief. And although we see a certain level of gore, that his skin is being flayed off his arm, but almost looks like a brown glove, he's really being very careful to tread that path between what is called a horror picture in the 17th century and then Michelangelo's beautiful saints that have no marks or any signs of actual anguish carried out on their bodies.